Now we are going to learn about electric field due to continuous charge distribution. Before we see about electric field due to continuous charge distribution, in this unit from the beginning we were discussing about discrete charges. So let us list out what are those discrete charges. So in discrete charges, first we study about Coulomb's law, that is F21 vector is equal to K multiplied by Q1 Q2 upon R square R12 cap. So this is the expression, that is the force between two charges. Next we learnt about how to calculate the total charge when we have more than two charges with the help of superposition principle. Here we have calculated the total force by adding the vector sum of all forces, and then we have substituted the values of Coulomb's law here and we have got such expression here. So in this formula we substitute the values of Coulomb's law and we will get such expression. Next we studied about electric field. We studied about electric field in our previous class. Like we have studied how much force it will exert when we consider the test charge Q naught. And we have substituted the value of F, that is Coulomb's law here, that is K multiplied by Q upon R square into R vector. We got value of Q is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is proportionality constant, Q upon R square and then R unit vector. So with the help of this vector, this formula, that is E vector is equal to F vector upon Q naught, we derived the expression of force, that is F vector is equal to Q naught into E vector. So suppose if we have more than two charges, when we use superposition principle to find out the total electric field by using the sum of electric field. So when we substitute the electric field formula for each value, here, we will get this formula, we will get such expression. So if we take all the constant outside, so what are the constant values here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. When I take the constant values outside, we will get summation of, that is we are adding all the points and we'll get Q1 upon R1P square R1P, which we have seen in our last class. Now we will see how to calculate the electric field due to continuous charge distribution. So now let us find the electric field due to continuous charge distribution. So let us assume a charged body, like a charged sphere or a charged wire. Okay, so when I take charged sphere or charged wire, I can't apply any of these discrete charges. Here, because here in discrete charges I have two charges like Q1, Q2, these are discrete charges. But whereas in these type of charges, when I have continuous charge distribution, I have million charges which is present in the body. I have many charges which is present inside the charged body. So it is difficult for me to calculate. So now we are going to derive the expression to how to calculate the electric field in a continuous charge distribution. So now let us assume an irregular charged object. So this is an irregular charged object. This is a charged object. So here in this irregular charged object, I am going to consider small elements, small tiny elements. Let us take this as del Q1 as a small element. This is small element, and another element, this is del Q2, and another charged element, this is del Q3. So all these are charged elements. So let us assume a point here which is P, and the distance between this Q1 and P is R1, and the distance between Q2 and P is R2. Distance between Q3 and P is R3. So these are the distance, R1, R2 and R3 are the distance between the point P and their charges respectively. So here, while dealing with the electric field due to charged sphere or a charged wire, etc., it is very difficult to look at individual charges in these charged bodies. Therefore, it is assumed that the charge is distributed continuously on the charged bodies and the discrete nature of these charges is not considered here. The discrete charges is not considered here. Discrete is not considered here. The electric field due to such continuous charge distribution is found by invoking the method of calculus. So here we are going to use calculus. We are going to use the calculus method to find out the electric field due to continuous charge distribution. Now let us see how we are going to use the calculus method. So let us take this field. Here we have Q1. Let us extend this. This is Q1. So here it is E1. The electric field which is acting on Q1 is E1. And this is E3 vector. And this is E2 vector. Now, same as we have seen the discrete charges, we are going to substitute the same values here, but here as a discrete elements, not as discrete elements, but as continuous charge distribution. For example, here we have taken E as total, but here we are going to take as del E total vector is equal to del E1 vector. Here it is just simple E1 vector, but here we have taken as del E vector because we are considering a small element in a irregular object. So del E1 vector plus del E2 vector plus del E3 vector and so on till del En vector, that is nth electric field. Now we are going to substitute the same values here, that is del E total vector is equal to, what is the value? Here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here I am going to write the values Q1, but here it is not just Q1, it is del Q1, it is del Q1. So it is del Q1 upon R1p square. Here it is only R square. So don't think that it is only R square. Since it is reaching the point P, the distance between the Q1 and the point, then it is R1p, R2p and R3p. So R1p square, R1p unit vector. Plus it is very simple. Instead of Q1, you are going to write del Q1 because we are considering this as a very small object. And it is del Q2 upon R2p square, R2p unit vector and so on. It goes to del Qn upon Rnp square, Rnp vector. So here this is not actually equal to, this is approximately equal to, because here we can't say it as equal to, because here we have considered this as very small element because we don't know the accurate value. So we can tell this value is equal to E total vector, which is approximately equal to, which is not accurately equal to. So here we take it as approximately equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here we are summing up all the equations. So here we can write a summation from I to n. Here instead of del Q1 we can write del Qi upon Rip square, Rip unit vector. So here del Q we have considered as 0, that is we have taken as very small element, like very small value. So this del Q can be written as dq since we are considering it as very small value. Substituting this del Q is equal to dq in this formula, that is, which is approximately equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught summation of from I is equal to 1 to n. Instead of del Qi I am going to write here dq, that is dq upon r square. We are writing in general and then r unit vector. So this is my equation. Since we are summing up all the equations here, summation is nothing but we are adding up. So this is just integrating all the values. So which is approximately equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dq upon r square, r unit vector. So this equation is used to find the electric field due to continuous charge distribution. Here we have even found like F vector is equal to Q naught by E. So this we have found from this electric field, that we can even find the force which is acting on the charge, that is with the help of a test charge Q naught. The same can be applied in the continuous charge distribution to find the amount of force which is acted by the charges. So here also the same equation will apply. F vector is equal to, instead of Q naught, we are going to take it as Q E vector. So this is the equation to find out the total electric field which is acting on continuous charge distribution, and this is a force which is acting on continuous charge distribution.